Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle Book Haul for the 1st of September. Daredevil Omnibus Volume 2. Really nice thing. About 50% I really loved, and 50% of stories that are sort of average at best. You got Crime Wave, you got Crag, you got some very unconvincing villains, but also you got this lovely one here. In the Beginning, really great little story. Also, you got a superb story with Barry Windsor Smith's artwork. Really love that. It's completely nuts. One of those sort of, you got a really lame android, but at the same time, there's just something about it, the panel structure, everything about it that just really works. I love it. And of course, it's got the classic Daredevil versus Captain America, and that is a real great story. They show like Daredevil versus Black Panther, and weirdly enough, there are some Daredevil and Black Panther stories in this. But you got the Jester, sort of poor man's Joker. Not very good character, to be honest. But still, the Barry Smith stories, I love it. Just the artwork's just superb. It's just like all over the place. It's just the weirdest style. And he must be the worst android of all time. Really has problems all the time. You know, he gets programmed in weird ways, goes off and does, no, wrong person. Run, Murdoch, run. And he's got this tool to use his smell to find the person to kill. Really? Oh, that's just odd. But still. Got that. Again, another one of those sort of like non-stories. Got Mr. I love this one. This is a real weird gothic one. This is a very Sleepy Hollow kind of story. And Karen Page, obviously, finally, of course, Matt reveals something that I think he should have done earlier, but they had that confusing story with his brother, and I never liked that storyline. That was just, and also you got Nighthawk turns up as well, called Squadron Sinister, and obviously the Grandmaster's long gone. But look at that cover. This one is, I mean, really? I mean, and that's one thing that slightly annoys me with these books. They never put who did the artwork. I mean, that's not Gene Colan, is it? It doesn't look like Gene Colan. Is it Marie Severin or someone else? I don't know. It just seems that they never include the name of the artist. Please put in comments below if you know where it is, because I can never find it. But you've also got Jekyll, obviously Mr. Hyde, not Jekyll and Hyde, but you've also got the Cobra and, of course, the Jester as well. And you've, of course, got this classic Zodiac story as well at the back. Now, there's not a huge amount of extras, nothing particularly startling, which is always a pity. I always think that it should, there's a good old Daredevil one, Daredevil Annual number 2, the cover of Surrender Daredevil, or I'll drop this girl. Not if the Catman gets you first, Hornhead. Great variation of cover on that one. I preferred the Wally Wood cover. But that is an unusual one. Unused cover. Always looks very blurry. I'm not surprised about the change of the cover. I must admit the other cover was much better. But that's it. It's not very much. There's a few bits, pages. This one as well. You've got illustrated. But that's it. But still. Nice to get Volume 2. I'm looking forward to Volume 3 when it comes out. Obviously it goes all the way up to about issue 100 or so. And that one should be good. Hopefully Volume 1 will come out again. I missed getting Volume 1, so it's a big sort of gap there. This is an odd one. Art of Archie. I had to get this from Germany. And unfortunately, because it came from Germany, it sort of got battered along the way. Look at that damage. Real bright. It was put in it's okay. It happens. I'm not going to lose too much sleep on that, but it does slightly annoy when it's a bit damaged there. But still, that's a minor point. It's got some lovely artwork all the way through this. Archie, of course, there, classic there. I've been thoroughly enjoying the Riverdale series. I've suddenly gone completely Archie mad at the moment, so I bought a few Archie books, perhaps too many, but still, jackpot. Oh, and new feature, Archie as well, listed there. And you've got Archie there. The Mirth of a Nation. It's got a mix of stories. Like one there, you can see obviously Veronica. Weird one to include. Just put there. You thought they would have put those at the end, but they just put the Archie there. They're just weird, those early ones. Truly. Jughead looks very similar all the way through. Archie looks very strange. I could imagine that if they'd done Archie like that in the TV series, it would have been strange. But Veronica, I suppose, is sort of. I don't know. And they had some weird magazines. Archie Mechanics. Archie Mechanics as well. Was it a way of sort of learning how to make it, how to fix it? I'm going to get on to another one that I think is absolutely brilliant. I've got an instruction book that I just thought, wow. And you've got Betty and Veronica, which I think they really shouldn't have included these, because this is the art of Archie. And there is a Art of Betty and Veronica in a similar sort of vein. So I think they should have maybe not done so many of these, but concentrating more on the Archie ones, obviously Jughead, etc. You got there, look at that lovely Pep one there, Pep Comics, number 132, and another one there, just a lovely collection. I'm really glad I got it. It's actually very hard to get, so I was really pleased. No, I don't know if it got bashed through the postal system or maybe it was not in a great state before it came, but whatever, it is a pity. But it's fine, and it's still a great book. So I got that. I've been picking up these ones. I know these are quite good. This is a bit confusing numbering system. I really wish they would have gone for a numbering system like down the bottom, sort of consistent sort of plan for numbering. So you've got here book 2, but that book 2 relates to Everything's Archie. Unusual title, but Everything's Archie, book 2. There's obviously a book 1 as well, Archie Comics, but this is part of the Archie Comic Presents. And you get this, obviously the listing. There's quite a long listing of hot titles, classic favourites, etc. Actually, weirdly, they don't actually break it down as an Archie Presents. But you can see the details there, and you've got everything, and there's the contents. Now, it doesn't include every story, I don't think, because you can see it's 69, and they sort of, yeah, maybe it's most, no, they must have, unless they, no, they haven't included Archie, everything Archie 5, so or 6 or 7, it's gone straight to 9, so it's not going to be everything. But they are pretty decent stories. I love these ones. The thing is about a lot of these Archie books is quite often you've seen them in other ones. I have got quite a few Archie books, and I think, oh, I've seen that story before, and another one. So they do happen to reprint them. I really wish in many ways when they bring these books out that they would sort of look and check that they've already done that book, that story, and then not include that one, but include another one. You know, but still, I think they're just great tales. All the same, Archie, the male lead, and I think it's nice that they include that detail as well. Quite a lot of these sort of books never do that. Don't include this sort of the details of things. You have to go back to the front to look at it. But here, they do include that, which is great. Slight disappointment is always with these books is that it's not big trade paperback sort of normal size in the sense of obviously original comics. They've squeezed them down to a digest format, which is, you can see that size, it's not that big, which is a pity, but it's full colour and you've got 224 odd pages and actually some really lovely stories. It's 1971, groovy. No, Baroom, it says. I was going to say groovy. It looked like groovy when I first looked at it, but it doesn't. It says Baroom, whatever that is. Eek, hold me, Archie, I'm afraid. But I've got a few of those. I've got a few already that I bought earlier. But because this one got this. This is not Archie, but it's part of the Archie Comic Presents, the complete Cosmo, the Merry Martian. Now, Archie does turn up later. The character Cosmo comes to Earth and, of course, meets up with Archie. They have to combine and Jughead, etc. But they read quite generally a nice little story. Classic sci-fi, I won't go as far as that, but from the 1950s. Quite quirky stories, very odd. And obviously, the humour, it's sort of, there is a certain sort of, you know what's going to be done and said. You can work it out very quickly. But you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see 1959. And then the good guys of the galaxy. Strange that. Wonder where that comes from. Guardians of. From Mars with Love. Ready, Set, Go. Space Aces, etc. And then you can see, obviously, they've been printed. Now, I don't know if they continued on with. There must have been another one. I haven't got volume 2. I think it actually mentions, yes, Cosmo graphic novel there, September 2018. I assume that came out, but I thoroughly enjoyed the stories here. Rescue in Peace, and some really quite surreal little artwork there. Trouble for Orby. Now, Orby's the great little character that goes along with Cosmo, and you've always got these characters as well, which I thought was they're quite funny. Ready, you're the army, ready for duty, yes sir. Wait, he's not the army, I'm the army, and so on. You can see that sort of, that gets repeated all the way. I'm not the rubbish collector, I'm the rubbish collector, blah, blah, blah. But they are still absolutely fun and thorough. If you're looking for just a lovely, classic little story of like this style, I think it's quite good. You know, it's not for everyone, but it appealed to me anyway. I love this one, Avengers. Now this is quite a hard one to find, not because it's rare, not because it's what's named, but the title. It's like a struggle to know what to look for, because when it came out, it was called Avengers 1.1, Avengers 1.2, whatever. just Avengers 4. I literally did not know what it was called, so I was searching online to try and work out, and then it's called Avengers 4. I love it because it's got, of course, the good old quartet. I love those stories. Not everyone loved those. I know the Avengers, those where everyone loved, obviously the more powerful Thor, Giant Man and Iron Man, those sort of things. And you can see the storyline there, of course. You got there the Melter. I'll destroy this whole city before I go back to prison. That's a bit of a threat, isn't it? And of course you've got Enchantress, etc. Something just fallen out there. Must have been something. But you've also got the Stranger turns up. There's quite a lot of characters that turn up in this. And you, of course, got some problems with characters, etc. A new character, Avenger X, as she's called. And of course you've got obviously Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. And you've also got the Sandman. You've got, weirdly, Ox. Good old Ox. But that's it. It's a real nice little story. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Maybe, I say, if you're an Avengers fan, you may or may not like it. But certainly for me, it's a very thin book. You can see it's very, very thin. Don't know how many pages. It's only probably about... It's got a few extra bits at the back. Not much bonus material. But you've got some lovely, obviously, Avengers there. And obviously, what I think of the classic Avengers, as far as I'm concerned, I like those, the early Avengers. Not saying I didn't enjoy those stories. I did. But I genuinely enjoyed these ones. I was so disappointed in many ways when Goliath came in. I thought, oh, couldn't they wait at least about another 10 issues or 20 issues, given a bit more time to... They're just the interaction of the characters. I just thoroughly enjoyed it at the time. And this book really captures that sort of spirit of that time. And I would love to see more stories like this. Another Archie one. This one's an odd one. And they brought so many of these out. They must be, I don't know how many Archie comics, I think they must be reaching 1 million or something. There must be 1 million comics of Archie because they keep churning these books out. But Archie Comics presents, and this one's stories, oh, you've got the Beatles there as well. He's obviously thinking of the Beatles there. But you've also got all these other ones, look, the bite-sized Archie, Archie and Friends. They're literally thousands of these things, but they're great. Also at Christmas time, virtually inevitable, there will be an Archie Christmas special. Sometimes the stories obviously get repeated. But still, I will probably be buying the Archie Christmas ones. I love those. And here's the Laugh ones. And again, I don't know if there's a volume 2, volume 3, there might be. Because they seem to be, they're missing stories out. So there's obviously a lot of material they could probably use. Maybe some of it's already been reprinted before. I don't know. I haven't got a complete index of all the Archie books or how they all relate. But you can see 1965, 65 there, 1960, Laugh 109. So they haven't even really gone right from the start. So obviously there's Laugh 1, 2, I assume there was anyway. But they're great little stories. I really genuinely love Archie. I love the art style. I just think it's powerful stories. I mean, they quite often tell a really good yarn in about 4 or 5 pages, which is nothing wrong with, and it's the artwork, everything works, it flows, and okay, it doesn't have superpowered heroes. It does sort of have. You've got the superhero ones where they got the Riverdale, whatever it is, ones, but they're not really. They're just, no. I think there is also an Archie collection of the superhero-related ones. I was never particularly a mega fan of those. But still, great little stories. This one's Laugh. Unfortunately, I've only got one of the Archie comics in the original format. They don't seem to turn up that often here. When you go to comic marts, you never see Archie books. And here's a Christmas one. Again, I'm certain some of the stories are actually, I've got in other collections of Christmas ones, but they're all absolutely great. And of course, they all follow the same standard thing where Archie does something, wrecks something. And of course, the Veronica's, it's all the in and out, Betty and Veronica, and the great little tales though. Archie, he's always getting into trouble. I always think to myself, if they'd done the series in the same way, I don't know if I'd have enjoyed it. I'm really pleased with the way they've done. So the whole series was great with Jughead. Jughead was a great character. Betty and Veronica, great. Archie was okay. But I have to say, there was other characters like Tony were brilliant. Cheryl was great. There was some like Moose. Didn't really have much. And yeah, Moose turns up quite a lot in these. But obviously not really in the series. A little bit, but not very much. And other characters turn up more. And actually, I think are better done in the Riverdale than in the comics. But anyway, so you got all those stories. Now, this one does, I think, also, yes, so again, which I think is very nice. It does include the information. It also includes all of the artists as well. Stan Goldberg, Jim DiCarlo, Bill Yoshida, and those sort of things, which I think is just great to include that at the bottom. Gives you just obviously where it is, 1970s, 1980s. There, greatest gift of all, Christmas, good old Christmas. And that's only 160 odd days away. This one I picked up in Oxfam. I love this sort of book. Victorian Engraving, absolutely brilliant. I wish they'd bring out an absolutely massive thick book of those things. And I quite often pick up sort of books with Victorian Engraving, and you can see some really excellent paintings done as engravings. Now, not all of them are particularly well known, but some are particularly well known. Obviously, Milias one there. There's always one here. William Turner Davy. Again, some just absolutely stunning artwork, I think. And let's just go another page. A Nightmare. This one, Frederick Sandys. Very odd looking one. And also that one as well. And just full of just brilliant Victorian art. And some artists I'm not particularly familiar with. Francis Hole. And this one, Sir Hubert von Herkomer, R.A. Again, that's why I love these books. Just finding about artists that I've never heard of. And this one, Victorian Engraving. There's also a list of other books as well. Actually saying that, some of those I've never heard of either. Constantine Brancusi. Never heard of him. Richard Dadd. Oh, maybe they're worth checking out. Illustrators of Alice. Wow. John Martin, obviously I've heard of him. Norwich School. Anyway, that's another selection of perhaps books to hopefully try. Now, this is an odd one, and I haven't got the earlier one. Now, apparently, obviously, this was Unmitigated England. It says more from, so this is the more from thing. But this is a lovely little book. This is a bit like the old sort of like scrapbooks one of the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s. So if you love those, you love this because it's got lots and lots of sections about things like spine-tingling books. The Dandy book for children, big book for boys. I remember quite a lot of those ones. And it's also got these lovely puffin ones as well. It's got pictures of those. Also, it's got here How to Watch Cricket. You've got lots of different places of cricket. Not a mega cricket fan, but also magazines and things. Obviously, Post Office magazine and all the various cards as well. Also, health and efficiency. A whole mixer of Valentine's gift dressings. Christmas Eve, you've got all the various homes and gardens. I love Homes and Gardens magazine. Also cards there as well. I don't know, I assume that's cards. Anyway, what is that? Boxing Day. Oh, Boxing Day is material. H.P. Sauce. The true story of H.P. Sauce. Sprats. Jenny Lard, down, and then so on. Lots and lots of British sort of unusual. Also, Titfield Thunderbolt, and that's Edward Borden. Just brilliant artwork all the way through. So a really nice little book. I think this one cost me $1.99. I thought, you know what, that looks great. So I'm really pleased I picked that one up. Now, this came through the post today, and I absolutely love this one. I've been looking forward to get this one for ages. I don't know why I never picked it up because it is amazing. This is a Taschen book. It's quite a large, hefty one. Absolutely super chunky, and it is full of brilliant artwork all the way through. And it's just, it's quite hefty as well. Actually, I don't know why I haven't removed that. I never like those things. You've got these... I'll just move that out of the way. Looks great, but unfortunately it always seems to get in the way. Maybe you could sort of use it as a bookmark or something. But just full of just page after page of just beautiful work from 400, 500 or so on. Let's see what it says. Some obviously is not. But you've got here 1368. And other work from, and I have no idea when that came. That was Greek miniatures, probably about 400, 500, that sort of time. And this is a real hefty tome. But you can see sort of style of this book. And I thought when I was getting it, I was thinking, I hope I haven't picked up the German version. I thought I had picked up the German version, but weirdly, it was actually coming, it's all English, which is quite, the title's actually at the top or not. You can see there the titles, but the actual text is all in English, which is very unusual for Taschen books. Quite often you get one where it's French, German, and that sort of thing. And I just love this sort of thing. I love it. To me, I always look at this as like a comic book. I know it's not, it's a religious sort of thing, and people, but it's, for me, I love just the way the panels, and it is as much as any, it's telling the story, and you just go through, wow, just following it through, and the style and the things, the way they use things, just beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and page after page of just truly superb art. Absolute masterpiece, this book. Hefty tome, and if you can pick it up, should be able to pick it up thing. I don't know, it might be out of print, I don't know. Anyway, there's that. This one is one I put down in the shop. I was thinking also, I thought, oh God, I've got so many books of advertising and things, and you get to the point where you think, really shouldn't buy any more. But I thought, you know what? I picked it up and read through it. Wow, what a superb book. And it's just full of just pages of various things like the sort of artwork of, I love this. Fry's, look at that, Fry's chocolate and all varieties. Don't know what variety that was, but it's pure concentrated. Makers of the Celebrated as well. Love that. Cadbury's Cocoa. And also the New York Hippodrome. I mean, just look at that beautiful artwork. Yeah, this book I think was part of a series of like modern publicity, which are very hard to get. Those sort of books, they you can get them, but they're quite often very expensive. I love this. I've got 2 or 3 of them. I haven't got many. But things like this, Harper's Bazaar, the magazine, and also another one. I mean, just pictures, adverts and things all the way through. Also blondes, brunettes and redheads. Such wildly varying types. All about obviously screen. And they've got here Mary Bryan, Eleanor Boardman, Renee Adore, and so on. And theatre there. And look at just beautiful. Just absolutely stunning on that one there. Old gold cigarette. I vaguely remember old gold cigarettes. Maybe. But anyway, it goes all the way through the 1940s, 1950s. And you've got just page after page of just really great artwork. So I'm really pleased I actually picked this up. Because I think that looks Chagall there and of course some Picasso and everything. I just love it. Absolute. And help. Hello Dolly even. Something like that. And also that. I love that sort of weird style. I don't know why. That one's advertisement of bookbinding materials. Ralph Dobson. And it's nice they include obviously all the details there. And also some, and of course, when it gets into obviously later on, you can see obviously it becomes more photos, but still, it's still great. But it still does finish about 1980. This book, maybe 1970 actually, goes up to about that sort of time. But what a great collection, Art of Advertising. This is an odd one, and at first I thought, oh, I don't know if I'm interested. I hardly noticed it. It was sort of, I thought, oh, and I just picked it up. I thought, wow, really nice. It's £3 one in my one of the shops. One of the charity shops, but it's just full of some really beautiful artwork, really impressive stuff. Obviously some famous ones, but also some ones I've never seen before. And I thought, you know what, that is pretty, I love these sort of things. And I'm surprised no one's brought out books of these sort of catalogues from, and this one is catalogue in 1936, obviously the Picasso. They're just fascinating to see how they were actually put in catalogues of the time. You know, it's nice to see them obviously now, you see all the, obviously the imagery, but just seeing them 1936, obviously those black, and quite often when you go to exhibitions, you quite often see books undercover. Of course, it's always in a sort of, you know, and you can't turn the pages and you can see all the various other pages. But sometimes you look and think, oh, I wonder what's on the other pages, and they're quite hard to find. It's not something you can now. Probably at Victorian Albert Arts History, probably they've got old catalogues. You could probably find them there, but it's just some very unusual Wheel of the Year, some lovely, obviously. Roman buildings, can't beat that sort of thing. Also some great artwork here as well. This one, Beach at, I'm not even going to say it, but still, absolutely superb. Very lovely Open University book, very unusual. I enjoyed the Open University programmes. I always watch those on Saturdays, whatever, in the morning. You see like piles and piles of brilliant shows. Not all of them, but some were fascinating, certainly the mathematics ones. Probably watch those more than the art ones, but now I would watch the art ones probably. Red Wolf. Now, I got this one. I don't know if it's any good. It's got good reviews, so I'm looking forward to reading it. I haven't read it yet, so the artwork looks great. Looks interesting. I love the Red Wolf stories. Annoyingly, Red Wolf, someone was put on eBay, issues 1 to 9. And of course, someone else obviously was interested, so the price went a bit higher than I was willing to go for. But actually very hard to get in the UK. So the early Red Wolf ones, the ones from the 1970s, I used to have quite a few of them. But unfortunately, I haven't got them now. And I thought, you know what, I must buy them again. Sadly, I didn't get them. I am surprised that no one's brought out a Red Wolf omnibus collection yet, or an epic. Why? You know, I think it was Marvel Spotlight, I think it was the one with Red Wolf. So that would be nice. As well as, of course, include some of these stories as well in a proper, massive, epic collection. Or a complete, maybe. I don't know. But still, this looks good. Looking forward to read that. Recently, I read one of the Will Eisner Spirit magazines, Kitchen Sink one. Had lots of great articles and talking about comics and sequential art. And I thought, oh, I must get this book again. I had this book ages and ages ago. I don't know why I got rid of it, because there was 3 in the series, and they were all 3 of them were excellent. And this one is full of just some really superb art and lots of great information about drawing, panel construction, everything you want to know about comics, scripts, everything. Absolutely love it. Brilliant. And that leads on to the final one. And this probably is my favourite of the entire lot. Well, actually, I like lots of them. But this one, Will Eisner. Now, recently I've started a new job, and it's a part-time job, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. But it's one where, in a sense, learning, understanding how things work, how things are put together, how to clean things, make certain, those sort of things. And I think this sort of book is just absolutely amazingly, obviously it's nothing to do with, I'm not working in doing this, but it's still, wow, preventative maintenance. I mean, what a brilliant, it's a monthly. They produced loads and loads of these. There was lots of issues of this magazine, prefaced by Anne Eisner, and there's just beautiful artwork all the way through. Really, really love this. P.S. Preventative Maintenance. Quite a mouthful. Preventative, no wonder they called it P.S. Much easier. August 1951, Volume 1, Number 3. And I love all the people signing up, of course, for the course at that point. But it's just full of just great information about things you think, oh, yes, that's a good... About how to put things on various things and making certain that things are clean, and that, of course, they're not going to suddenly be ruined after 5 minutes if they're not cleaned all the time. And, of course, the problems if you don't clean them and what happens, the consequences of that. But also things like here, proper use of pliers. Okay, maybe not for everyone, but wow, just what a great guide to all this. Now, if all the sort of instruction books were done by Will Eisner, you get sort of, I don't know, some furniture or something, and you could look at it and think, and it explains it with these sort of fun, interesting drawings like this. Wouldn't that be great? Should be a whole industry of people producing these sort of things where it sort of explains, not obviously this, of course they could have that, but just purely how to build various things, or how to do that, how to clean outside, how to keep the garden in a particular way, or how to clean the windows, how to clean the toilet, and so on. Things that, yes, should be obvious, but unfortunately sometimes that's what, of course, YouTube's for. So you can go and have a quick look and find out. But I think this is a sort of, to me, is like the early YouTube, and with showing sort of steering, tyres, lubrication, rust spots, electrical, brakes, and so on. Gasoline is a deadly cleaner. Probably a yes. Great advice. And it's just, wow, loads and loads of these. And just classic artwork all the way through this book. It's probably a book that most people probably think, oh, you know what? But I think, wow, you can really see spirit running all the way through this. Obviously, spirit does not turn up in this, but you can certainly see that sort of artwork. The prevent again, chemical material, engineering material, ordnance material, all super useful stuff. PM is everybody's job. I absolutely love this. Now, it's a small little book. A lot of people put comments saying they would have preferred the Kindle version. Maybe that's right, I don't know. But I still quite prefer the physical version, even if you can't get, obviously, the really super... Because it is a small book. It's not a huge one. I would love to see a really massive volume of all these ones. But still, you can get them in Kindle format. Virtually every issue seems to be available. But this is the best of... I can't remember it. Of course, Abrams. I should have guessed. Abrams, I love their books. They've got so many great books. So this one is definitely worth checking out. If you're a Will Eisner fan, I think this is... really, if you haven't got this, well, a bit surprising, because it is just full of really great artwork and just super useful information. Well, I hope you found this of interest. What sort of things have you bought this week? Actually, all that lot was from this week. I actually intended at the start of the week not to buy any books. One of those things I think, I'm not going to buy any books. I'm not going to go downtown. And that's the curse for me. I go downtown, I take some books downtown or whatever, and I wander down. And then, of course, I end up bringing back 3 or 4, because you can't really sort of not buy them. When you see them in the shop, you think, because that would be gone next week. And you think, that's a really good book, that Art of Advertising. It won't be there. And then you'll be thinking, that's a great book, I wish I got. But still, So which ones you bought? Which ones you intending to buy? Have you got lots of things? I've got the Invincible Iron Man Volume 1 Omnibus, hopefully coming sometime soon. I am looking forward to the Avengers Volume 5 at some point. That's not far off coming out. There's quite a few books coming out fairly soon, so I'm just sort of on my pre-order list. Always quite a look at, often trim them back. I think, do I really want that one? There's not much from tomorrow's that I've got on order. I don't think there's anything but other than that, Marvel, of course, there's lots of. Now, I thought about Phantom Stranger. There's an omnibus edition coming out for that. That's a possible, but I'm not a mega fan of Phantom Stranger. And I did read them when they came out in the showcase book, so I'm thinking maybe I won't get that one. But there's, other than that, what other ones? I can't think of many other, like Epics. Half mine's went to buy Epics at the moment. I'm going for a period where I think maybe I should just get the omnibus ones, and then because they're like the Fantastic Four Crusader one that's just coming out, and I thought, should I get that one? But then they'll bring out the Fantastic Four Volume 5 omnibus, is it 5 or 6? And I'll be thinking, I've got the Epics. It's like Sergeant Fury. I'm buying Sergeant Fury on the assumption that the Epics are basically the format they're going to be. So, get volume, and then you get the omnibus comes out and you think, I wish I got the omnibus. What can you do? Anyway, those sort of things, endless questions and things. Please let me know in the comments below. Always great to hear from you. Bye.